What up, everybody? CC here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Setup Upgrades. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Emeet SmartCam S600, which is a 4K webcam that has two microphones and records in 4K UHD. I am very excited to check this out because I've been looking to replace my webcam for a while. I'll go ahead and throw up on the screen what that looks like. And I also thought we would do some comparisons and tests, just, to how much better or worse it could be to my current webcam, which is my J5 Create. Now, Emeet, I've heard, is a very good brand of webcams, and I've heard very, very good things about this webcam, so I decided to pick this up. I got this from Amazon actually today, and it arrived the exact same day. Like, I ordered this about 8 in the morning today, and it arrived at like 6:30 this evening when I was at work, and I just thought that was, well, something else to say the least. Now, that right there is the beauty of Amazon Prime. So, massive shout out to Amazon for the ridiculous speed. But first, before we get into this, if you guys are new here, hi, my name is CC. Welcome to the channel, and make sure you do subscribe down below, drop a like on the video, and hit that bell and stay up to date on anything I post. And with that being said, let's dive in. All right, so first impressions. I mean, pretty standard for when it comes to like packaging. The box looks nice, and nothing too special about the box though. It comes in this little square box, but let's go ahead and use this arrowhead right here to open this up. The reason I'm using an arrowhead is because I left my knife downstairs, and I don't really feel like going and grabbing it, so I'm just gonna use this arrowhead instead. There we go. All right. Oh, it looks like I just knocked into the microphone there. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing out of the box. We've got a, I believe this thing is powered by Type-C, I want to say. Comes in this little, I don't know, it comes in this little packaging. Let's go ahead and see what's in here. I believe this is probably the manual and the cables. All right, so yeah, this is an A to a Type-C. I knew it. Yeah, so this is a Type-C cable, and which is really nice because I can use I don't just have to use this, and I have literally loads of Type-C cables laying around, so that's very, very nice that it's powered by Type-C. And then we have the user manual right in here. I really need that itself. And oh, look at this! Got a little 4K product quick guide here. Now, what I do know is that this thing actually features its own little software right here. And also, first impressions, oh wow, look at that. So you can close and open the webcam whenever you need to, and that looks, to say the least, very, very nice. That being said, let's go ahead and get this plugged in, and I will see you guys once I got this thing hooked up. And there it is. Whoa. Okay, that difference is crazy. Like, wow. That is some very, very, that's a very, very good shot there. All right, let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and alternate between a couple of these here. This is the J5 Create, and that difference is really, really nice. Wow. Let's go ahead and test out the autofocus feature, because I know it's supposed to have some autofocus on it. There it is. Look at that. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's nice. That's very, very nice. Let me go ahead and hold it here. See how that looks. Wow. I also did want to test the microphone on this thing. So let's go ahead and turn off the main mic, which is right here. And let's go ahead and test out the microphone. All right, so this is a mic test on the Emeet S600, and I don't know how it sounds yet, but we'll definitely see. All right, so I got the software open now, and let's go ahead and play around with the settings a little bit. All right, so there's a zoom that doing right now. It doesn't seem to be making a difference, but all right. Now autofocus is on. And one thing I really do like is that it's not a fisheye lens, like, right? It's not like it's not a fucking fisheye lens like the other one is right next to it, the J5. All right, so we have EV. I'm actually not sure what that is. Okay. Yeah, it looks all right. Let's go. Okay, contrast. Okay, turn that down. Okay, yeah, let's turn it back up to 128 where it was at. Sharpness, you can turn that up and down. Okay, I don't know what I did, but yeah, let's turn that back to 128. Or actually, wait, isn't there a defaults? But yeah, there's a restore defaults button. Boom. There we go. So, all right. Yeah, I like this. I really, really do like this. It's got rule of thirds, golden ratio. I don't know what that is. Backlight compensation. Oh yeah, fuck that. Yeah, I'm good. Now the brightness, I think I'd preferably actually turn that down just a little bit. Yeah, something like that. And let's see. Contrast is fine. Saturation is fine. Well, what is saturation, anyways? Oh yeah, it's that. Okay, let's go. Control Z. Control Z here. Okay, or not. Okay, let's just go ahead and turn that back up to where it should be at 128. There we go. So it looks like every setting is at 128. Now, anti-flicker, it's at 60 hertz and 50 hertz, and I believe it's where it should be at. Let's see, about firmware. Okay, user's manual. Whoop. Now, because this thing has an autofocus feature, I am very hopeful for the TV test, which is going to be, you know, how does it perform when we've got Hammerhead music blasting through the TV? Okay, so I decided to connect it back to the main mic because I don't know how that sounded. Anyways, let's just go ahead and bring this back up. Let's just test some. Let's just test some more shit with it. You know, like let's see. Kind of just let's see. I'm bringing it up to here, and oh yeah, instant. Her up to it here. Look at that! Wow, that is nice. Very, very good. Okay, autofocus. Honestly, I'm gonna give it a very solid 8.5 out of 10. Very, very solid 8.5 out of 10. The reason I give it an 8.5 and not like a perfect 10 is because I don't really know what what like perfect autofocus would look like. But this is pretty damn good for fucking $60 is what I paid for this thing, by the way. Like I said, one of my favorite things is the privacy shutter. Whoops. I can literally just do this, shuts it out. And oh, hello. Goodbye. No, I love that feature. That's really, really nice. That's really, really nice. Now let's go ahead and test out the TV and see how that looks. If you guys did not see the Hammerhead Music birthday stream, 21st birthday stream, it looked way too bright, to say the least. And so what I want to do is hopefully it won't look like crazy bright, right? So let's go ahead and test out how that is. Let's see how it looks. And it's got that autofocus going, I can see. Like I said though, I can turn the brightness down if I need to.
The first one, the worst one, the cursed one. And they try to drag me out. So let's far away to wait another day. The rain nice. Will stay as I hum my melody of despair. All toys that the broken can be fixed.
Okay, so honestly, I think that looked pretty good. Now let's go ahead and test out how it reacts with lighting around. Okay, so I did just want to go ahead and point out that it is now the next day, after I got done recording Setup Upgrades episode number 2, or episode 3, excuse me, and I do want to say, it looks so much better now. The resolution, like the camera resolution, see how it's like, it's so much smoother now? And all I needed to do is, okay, so apparently this thing is or not just apparently, evidently, this thing is incredibly light reactive. Okay, so let's go ahead and test that out, because I did want to just kind of show how light reactive this thing is. It's incredibly light reactive, and I do really like that feature too. Now, currently, I have my light bars up to 100%. Now, let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and turn the main light. I'm going to go ahead and turn the desk light bars down to about 50%. And look at the difference, dude. It's a little bit it's a little bit choppier now. And now when I turn it down to about 19%, it honestly gets even worse. So this thing is incredibly sound reactive, it turns out. That is very, very good to know. Now, if we turn it up to here, there we go. Now everything works fine. So I do like that. I do like how light reactive it is. Now, that may be a little bit annoying in our upcoming Hammerhead Music 3,000 subscriber celebration, but I'll work something out. The brightness down a little bit more. It's about like right here. As you can see, still perfectly at 30 frames a second with resolution, and it looks a little better because I toned down the brightness to about 51. All right, so one thing I just realized, we actually did not do one song during the Hammerhead stream. We actually didn't end up doing one step at a time, which honestly, that's a problem. That is a genuine problem, and that's gonna drive me nuts if I don't do it now. So, this is kind of unrelated to the episode of Setup Upgrades, but with this, you're also gonna get one song, one music video breakdown, and one instrumental breakdown. Because there was one song that I missed, and that's One Step at a Time. I don't know why, but I always forget it's there. And it's such a good song, too. But anyways, here we go.
I feel like I'm sinking, screaming and kicking, but no one's letting me out. Buried within it, could call it wicked, cause I feel like I'm gonna drown. One foot after the other, take one step at a time. I'm at the bottom, let's see how far up I can climb. I just need to stay alive, just take one more breath, I can see the end in sight. This was the magical place where all my dreams were announced. Now muffled and shattered all by the screams of the crowd. When the curtain is caught, it's when the shadows come out. Hear them lurking, emerging, that's what their party's about. Now it's the first night, I feel a shiver down my spine. Hear the flicker in the lights, could this all be a rewind? Can't be my kind, but every time I'm in the light, I feel it deep within my mind. The glossy image in his eye. Now he's knocking at my door, thinking he suspects, but I'm only on the second, and I know that he will be back for more. But now I've hit the third, my reality is torn as the clock is ticking backwards. How time is flew, we've hit the fourth.
Don't think your father's in there. Don't think your father's in there. Don't think your father's in there. Oswald, I know that you're scared. Love that's broken can't be repaired. Maybe your father's in there.
I feel like I'm sinking, screaming and kicking, but no one's letting me out. No one's letting me out. Could call it wicked, cause I feel like I'm gonna drown. One foot after the other, take one step at a time. Hold my breath and close my eyes, I made it tonight. Far relying on a wish, I just need to stay alive. Just take one more step, I can see the end in sight. Hope it's the end, I'll be back for another ride. There's nothing left, don't know how much longer I can fight. So many streets, I can see the minutes I face can climb. I just need to stay alive. Just take one more breath, I can see the end in sight. One foot after the other, take one step at a time. I'm at the bottom, let's see how far up I can climb. I just need to stay alive. Just take one more breath, I can see the end in sight. There's no reason left to fight.
Okay, so moving on. Okay, so before we get onto the music video and instrumental breakdown, I do just want to say that I really think it's so cool that you can change the resolutions from 4K to like 1080 and then to 2K and stuff like that. Now, one thing I've really noticed is that in the dark, 1080p is absolutely vital. Now, however, when you're in the light and there's a lot, and you know, when there's enough light around you, 4K is vital. So that's something I love about it, is that it really is, like, this is a far more advanced webcam than my last one, my J5 Create. And I mean, I love the fact you can change the resolution. That is a very, very cool feature that I found out you could do. But yeah, no, it appears that 1080p is absolutely the best in the dark, and 4K is the best in the light. Okay. Which is really cool. I didn't really know that, you know, different resolutions will be best for different settings. That is a cool feature. I do really fuck with that. However, I do wish 4K was better in the dark, but it's just too choppy for my liking. So I decided to change it up back to 1080p for when it's in the dark, and then 4K, which will be the normal resolution for when there's enough light around. I'm going to be honest, I think it's honestly criminal that I forgot to do this song in the Hammerhead birthday stream. Oh my goodness, what's the matter with me? But to make up for it, here it is now. So now let's go ahead and get into our fuck off.
Find amazing savings on the.
Now it's gonna go ahead and get into our music video breakdown here.
I'm sinking, screaming and kicking, but no one's letting me out.
Alright, so I feel like I'm sinking, screaming and kicking, no one's letting me out. I'm assuming that's a childhood type of thing, because I mean, honestly, Hammerhead Music has probably the most fucked up childhood you've ever seen or heard of before. So I'm assuming what he means by that is, like, you know, no one's letting him out of this prison, of shadows that he's in. In this point in time, this is 2024, okay? A lot of time has passed since this song. I believe this was September 2024, I believe the song was posted. No, it's August 31st, 2024. But yeah, no, I believe that's like a childhood type of thing where he was like, basically, you know, no one's letting me out. I'm screaming and kicking and, you know, I feel like I'm sinking. Where it just, you know, feels like, you know, he's just keeping sinking and sinking and sinking and there's no way out.
Buried within it, could call it wicked, 'cause I feel like I'm gonna drown. One foot after the other, take one step at a time.
I guess, let's see, one foot after the other, take one step at a time. Just kind of taking it literally one step at a time and just kind of seeing what happens next. But, buried within it, could call it wicked, because I feel like I'm gonna drown. That just means like he feels like he's gonna die. Or in this case, he was planning on dying in this case. Because he was planning on, well, you know, this type of thing. 2 years that went on. That is sad. at least in the Hammerhead era, or no, 3 years. 3 years. So 23, 24, and 25. So yeah, 3 years that went on in Hammerhead's time here on YouTube. That is really, really sad. But anyways, yeah, I'm assuming that's what that means. Like, you know, buried within it. Could call it wicked. You know, he's like buried within shadows, and he just can't escape.
I'm at the bottom, let's see how far up I can climb. I just need to stay alive. Just take one more breath, I can see the end in sight.
Okay, just take one more breath, I can see the end in sight. That's basically him just waiting for the day he dies. Like, that's just what that is. And then you've got, you know, just take one more breath. That's like, you know, that's the final breath he takes. Kind of said in Corrupted Family, but in My Tragedy, when I take my last breath. So there's that. That's gross. But, yeah, that's basically what that means. And, I'm at the bottom. Let's see how far up I can climb. Means kind of like he's at the bottom of the barrel, or at least he was calling maybe he was calling his music bottom of the barrel here, which, by the way, that was never the case. And then seeing, like, let's see how far up I can get to the top. Pretty sure that's what that means, but I don't know why he would ever call his music bottom of the barrel. If he did that, I don't know.
The magical place where all my dreams were announced. Now muffled and shattered all by the screams of the crowd. When the curtain is called, that's when the shadows come out.
When the curtain is called is when the shadows come out. He's got this disgusting demon in him, right? And so, you know, when the curtain is called, aka this, the demon takes over. The demon takes over.
Hear them lurking, emerging, that's what their party's about. Now it's the first night, I feel a shiver down my...
Okay, first night, feel a shiver down my spine, and I don't know what the purple glow is about.
Curtain is called, that's when the shadows come out. Hear them lurking, emerging, that's what their party's about. Now...
Hear them lurking, emerging, that's what their party's about. Kind of just collecting souls, I think.
It's the first night, I feel a shiver down my spine. Hear the flicker in the light.
The flicker in the lights. Could this all be a rewind? Rewind back to his childhood, I'm assuming he's talking about.
This all be a rewind.
Also, the fucking flicker of the text! That is ridiculous.
Be my time, but every time I'm...
Now that is really cool. Hammerhead music can't be my time, but every time I'm in the light, I feel it deep within my mind, the glossy image in his eyes. See, I don't really know actually how to break that down, but I really do think it was a really cool animation by LLC to put it like as the, you know, he's talking as like the character. So this little boy right here, that was a really cool touch.
In the light, I feel it deep within my mind, a glossy image in his eye. He's knocking at my door.
Once again, awesome. Love the phone shit.
Thinking he's suspect, but I'm only on the second, and I know that he will be back for more. But now I've hit the third, my reality is torn.
What, is that supposed to be his dad? Is that supposed to be his dad trapped as spring trap? I have no idea.
As the clock is ticking backwards, how time is flew, we've hit the fourth.
How time is flew, we've hit the fourth. Basically just saying time is really, really flown. I don't think your father's in there. That means, okay, so his father abandoned him when he was a little kid. And well, he was never there for him. So that's what that means. I don't think your father's in there. That's disgusting.
Don't think your father's in there. Don't think your father's in there. Also, I know that. Just can't.
I honestly can't even see what that says.
Now what's broken can't be repaired. Maybe your father's in there.
But what's broken can't be repaired. That's basically saying, you know, those scars are unhealable and they will never go away.
I feel like I'm shaking, screaming and kicking.
The chorus again.
Letting me out. Hurry within me, the call it the key. 'Cause I feel like I'm gonna drown. One foot after the other, take one step at a time. my breath and close my eyes. I've made it to nightfall. Relying on a wish, I just need to stay alive.
Relying on a wish, I just need to stay alive. Once again, not exactly sure.
Just take one more step, I can see the end in sight. It's the end.
People might wonder why I use VSRS OSD Mono as a font for when I'm talking about Hammerhead a lot. He's used this font so many times in his songs, so that's hence why I keep using it.
It's for another bite. There's nothing left, don't know how much longer I can fight. So many saves, I can see the minutes eyes to another rewind of this franchise.
Basically saying he doesn't want to make any more FNAF songs after this one, but he did because he felt they were necessary. Or excuse me, you know, not like the FNAF, but I mean he thought that it was absolutely it was absolutely necessary to make more. Basically.
One foot after the other, take one step at a time. I'm at the bottom, let's see how far up I can climb. I just need to stay alive. Just take one more breath, I can see the end in sight. One foot after the other, take one step at a time. I'm at the bottom, let's see how far up I can climb. I just need to stay alive. Just take one more breath, I can see the end in sight.
Alright, and now lastly, let's go ahead and get into instrumental breakdown. Very clean transition there. Starts out incredibly with these electric pads and this amazing violin in the back. I get chills every time I hear the violin. You got these clapping sounds. And then the violin's cut off, and so do the drums, and then it's just these electric pads again. They get a little more intense. Then back you go with the percussion beat. Now it's really slowing down. Basically, right around back to the beginning of the song, where that sounds right there. And then it gets louder, and louder, and louder. And then the kick gets a little bit more intense. Back at it again, you got those beautiful violins. Ah! And then the electric pads. Oh yeah, and then that guitar. I think the guitar actually continues in. Yeah, there it is. Oh, God. And then just kind of continues. phenomenal song. That's the perfect song to listen to when you're playing something retro or just doing something that is retro. And there we go, back to normal. And honestly, it does really well with sound reactive, or excuse me, light reactive movement. However, it does best in 1080p with like darker atmospheres like that in darker environments, and it does a lot better in lighter environments with full 4K, which is good to know because I do all my streaming with like, you know, a lot of light, honestly. So that's good to know, and I just need to make sure to turn my light bars up all the way, and then I think I'll be fine. Another setup upgrades video sometime next week. I really hope so because I do really like filming these. And from now on, every setup upgrades video will be filmed with the Emeet S600 because the J5 Create has officially been retired. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Appreciate it if you made it this far. Peace.